Imagine a home where sunlight filters through large glass panels. Greenery grows just beyond the living room, and the boundary between indoor comfort and outdoor nature almost disappears. This idea is at the heart of the growing fascination with greenhouse-inspired homes, where architecture is designed not only to shelter people, but also to create a stronger connection with plants, daylight, and the surrounding landscape. A true greenhouse home is not simply a traditional house filled with plants, because successful designs must still address insulation, ventilation, moisture control, shading, structural performance, and everyday comfort. That combination of practical construction and botanical beauty is one reason the concept feels so different from ordinary home design. For many homeowners, the appeal begins with one simple idea. What if the garden could become an architectural feature rather than something that simply surrounds the house? From the outside, a greenhouse home often has a distinctive visual character created by generous areas of glazing, simple structural lines, and strong relationships between the building and its landscape. The most important visual element is usually the glass, but glass should be selected according to the climate and the performance requirements of the building, rather than simply for appearance. Large windows can bring remarkable amounts of natural light into the interior, although orientation, shading, and glazing specifications have to be considered carefully to prevent excessive heat gain. A deep roof overhang can provide valuable protection from intense summer sunlight while still allowing lower-angle winter sunlight to enter the home in suitable climates.
The entrance to a greenhouse-inspired home should feel welcoming without sacrificing the practical separation between the exterior environment and the conditioned interior. A covered entry porch can protect the doorway from rain and direct sun while creating a transition between the garden and the interior. A mudroom near the entrance can be particularly useful for homes surrounded by gardens because it provides a practical place for outdoor shoes, gardening equipment, coats, and muddy clothing. For homeowners who actively garden, a dedicated storage zone near the entrance can prevent soil, tools, and outdoor materials from spreading into the main living areas.
The living room is often the most dramatic space in a greenhouse-inspired home because large windows can turn the surrounding landscape into a constantly changing backdrop. Instead of relying heavily on decorative wall art, homeowners can allow trees, flowers, seasonal colors, and changing daylight to become part of the visual composition. Furniture should generally be arranged so that it supports conversation while preserving clear views toward the garden. Natural materials such as oak, rattan, linen, wool, and stone can reinforce the connection between the interior and exterior. A neutral color palette can also help the plants and outdoor landscape become the visual focus. However, neutral does not have to mean boring, because texture can create depth through woven fabrics, rough stone, natural wood grain, and handcrafted accessories.
The kitchen is another area where greenhouse architecture can create a memorable experience because daylight can reach deep into an open-plan cooking and dining area. A large kitchen island can serve as the functional center of the room, providing preparation space, casual seating, and storage. Durable surfaces are particularly important in kitchens because cooking creates heat, moisture, and food debris, regardless of how beautiful the surrounding architecture may be. A well-designed ventilation system is essential when a kitchen opens toward a highly glazed living area, because cooking odors and humidity should be properly managed. Open shelving can introduce natural wood and decorative ceramics, although homeowners should balance open storage with enough clothed cabinetry to keep the kitchen visually organized.
Perhaps the most recognizable feature of a greenhouse-inspired home is an indoor garden or planted conservatory area that acts as a bridge between architecture and nature. However, not every plant can thrive simply because a room is filled with glass, because plant health depends on factors such as light intensity, temperature, humidity, water, soil, and species selection. Plants with similar environmental requirements can be grouped together to make maintenance easier. Raised planters can define circulation paths while keeping soil and roots contained. Drainage is particularly important for permanent indoor planting areas because excess water must be managed without damaging floors or surrounding building materials. A well-designed indoor garden should therefore look effortless while actually relying on thoughtful planning behind the scenes.
A dedicated conservatory or sunroom can provide one of the most enjoyable spaces in a greenhouse home because it can function as a reading room, breakfast area, plant room, or informal lounge. The furniture should be selected for the environmental conditions of the room, particularly if the space experiences larger temperature swings than the main conditioned areas. A ceiling fan can improve air movement in suitable climates, while operable windows or dedicated ventilation can help manage heat when conditions allow. The space can also serve as a seasonal retreat where homeowners enjoy morning coffee surrounded by plants.
The appeal of greenhouse homes is ultimately about more than aesthetics, because these houses can create a stronger daily relationship between people, daylight, plants, and the landscape. For someone who loves gardening, the architecture can transform plants from outdoor decoration into an important part of everyday life. For someone who values natural light, large areas of glazing can make interiors feel bright and visually connected to the outside. For someone who enjoys entertaining, the combination of open living areas, garden views, and indoor-outdoor connections can create a memorable setting for gatherings. And for homeowners who simply want their house to feel calmer and more connected to nature, greenery can provide a powerful visual and emotional presence throughout the home.